it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction, where you can find latest album reviews, you can find our band reviews, and you can find live coverage of the concerts that we get. I've been taking kind of a break just because things have been getting busy with personal life, so I haven't been able to do as much. Also, I've been just trying to collect more interviews just because this year starting out, I only had 2 in backlog, so I'm hoping to get more. So if you're in a band and you're checking out this review, feel free to hit me up on the email. I'll definitely try to get you guys in. But getting all those skeletons out of the closet, things of that nature, getting back into the album reviews, hoping to get more live videos really soon. Definitely be on the lookout for those as well. But tonight, we're going to be talking about RYLS' new EP, Live, Love, Loss. So for those of you who aren't familiar with this band, they're a band from Toronto, Canada. They kind of invoke bands like Linkin Park, Bring Me the Horizon, and they also did a phenomenal cover of a Bring Me the Horizon track as well as a Halsey track. It's a great sort of mashup, so if you haven't checked that one out, please go do so. But this EP released last Friday. Like I said, it's been really busy, so I definitely wanted to get around to doing a review of this EP. So I'm going to go through each track, give you my thoughts and opinions on it, go through some pros and cons, and then finish it out with an overall rating. So the first track is called Within Your Heart. This one's one of my favorites. I like Sahara's vocals. She really has this unique bit of grit, but also has just kind of a warmness to her vocals as well. And you can kind of hear both parts of the spectrum in this track. The screams definitely remind me a lot of old Ollie Sykes, things of that nature from Bring Me the Horizon. Jed does a phenomenal job of kind of evoking that sort of flavor, and I think he does a really great job of that nonetheless. I think this track has this really sort of bouncy, sort of riffy sort of feel to it. I like the electronic elements as well. The song as a whole is pretty straightforward, but I think it's solid nonetheless. It's one of those tracks that I think is a good starting point to the record and definitely gets it off to the right foot. So we're going to move into track number 2, which is called Waves. This is the first single that they released, and they released a music video with it as well. This one's one of my favorites, and I think this is easily the best track off the record. It has this catchy infectiousness to it. The song definitely has hooks for days. I think vocally, Sahara does a phenomenal job of kind of, again, having that sort of melodicness to it, but obviously carrying on that sort of post-hardcore kind of metalcore vibe to it as well. There's just that right amount of aggression to it. You can kind of hear some of Jad's parts. He kind of does more like scream harmonies with Sahara. But I think it really works out well. Like I had mentioned earlier, Sahara definitely shines in this track, but I definitely feel like the biggest star of the track as a whole is the structure and the arrangement. I think that this one definitely puts their best foot forward. If they continued in this direction, I'd totally be cool with it. But this song definitely has that sort of memorability to it that I really think really stands out on this EP. So we're going to move into track number 3, which is Shell. Liking the darker undertones of this track as well. Sahara shows off a little bit more of her register, more specifically her lower register, which I think is really beautiful. And I think it is definitely understated on this EP for sure. I feel like most of her stuff's like mid-range, and she kind of does some high range stuff, but I would say for the most part she kind of keeps in that mid-range, and that's where she feels comfortable. But I definitely like the lower register. I would love to hear more of it and maybe a full length or another EP. But in terms of the whole song itself, I feel like it leans more so on Josiah and James, which both play drums and bass respectively, which is a nice switch off because there really isn't too much guitar parts in the way, and I feel like those parts or instruments in the band really stick out more. The inclusion of piano is awesome in the bridge, and I would definitely like to hear more of that. incorporate it into future songs. I feel like it really works with their vibe of having more of an electronic focus, and I think that it would definitely benefit them in the long run for sure. So we're going to move into track number 4, which is So Far Down. This one is also a favorite of mine as well. It almost evokes vibes of new metal core, that sort of genre. Also, kind of a little bit of more of an older issues feel to it as well. Obviously drawing a lot from Linkin Park. I know that they had mentioned that in their interview, which will be posted very soon as well, and you can definitely hear that sort of correlation with that. This one also has a great catchiness to it as well, especially in the chorus, to speak of as well. And I think the vocal layering and the harmonies in the bridge are just phenomenal. They're really on point. I think much like Waves, I feel like this one is one of those catchier tracks. While being a little bit heavier, I still think it works very well with the direction of the band and the song as well. So we're gonna move into the last track number 5, Alive Again. This one has more of a slower feel to it, especially in the intro and the first verse of the song. The production of the vocals have this sort of ambience and fullness to them that obviously attributes to more of the darker undertones that I feel like I got from Shell, but also with this sort of pace of So Far Down, the track that preceded it. It is a good song to kind of round out the record with. I think the coolest part of the song in general is the bridge. It really kind of has that sort of old school Linkin Park issue vibes. It has that sort of, DJ scratch, which is really nice, and obviously, showing a lot of homage to not only Linkin Park but Mike Shinoda, and the way that he kind of incorporates his electronic beats in that. I do wish the pace of the song was a little bit faster. I think it would have definitely helped with the kind of favoritism of the songs, but it just lacks that sort of speed that I feel like would have made the song just a little bit better. I think the pacing would have been definitely a lot better as well. It just kind of seems off tempo to me. Just kind of listening through the EP, I feel like this one could and should have the potential to be good, but it just kind of missed out on pacing a little bit. So some pros and cons: solid vocals on both fronts, not only from Sahara but also from Jad as well. I like the unique electronic aspects of this band. I'd love for them to incorporate that as well as piano. I know that I had mentioned it earlier, but I'd love to hear that. Also, just like with the hooks, I feel like tracks like Waves and So Far Down were songs that I really enjoyed just because they had this sort of natural hook to them. The melodic patterns really fit with the song, and I feel like they would have definitely benefited from other tracks off this record if they just had that little a little bit more perfection added to them. They would have definitely pushed it over the line for me, just kind of listening to it. Some cons that I have, I was expecting a little bit more. I feel like obviously it's an EP, so I'm not expecting a ton, and that might be safe for future releases, but it's definitely lacking in some parts. But overall, I think it was really solid. I think the other big issue for me is just pacing. I feel like it is paced a little bit bad. I feel like some of they lean really heavy to the front half of the EP. I feel like Within Your Heart, Waves were really solid. Shell kind of takes a different direction, which isn't that bad, but still really good. So Far Down is a solid song, and I feel like they kind of missed out on the pacing for the last track, Alive Again. If it was a little bit more picked up and they maybe added another track in, that would have really kind of sold it home for me for sure. But like I said, nonetheless, a great AP to start off with, kind of give a basis for, where the band can go in the future, and hopefully maybe they'll take my critiques into consideration, who knows. But my overall rating for RYLS, Live, Love, Lost, I'm going to be giving it a 9.2 out of 10. I think it is a solid effort from the band. I definitely can hear the potential of them in the future. I would love to hear how to kind of counterbalance the like an EP versus a full length. I'd love to hear kind of their thought process and maybe, the way that they would do stuff in that way. But let me know in the comments what you think about RYLS EP. Definitely go check them out, and hopefully you guys are on the lookout for an interview with them coming up very soon. So definitely be on the lookout for this band. Hopefully they'll be doing some awesome things in 2019. Go check them out. Links are in the description. And if you enjoyed this interview, review, whatever, definitely hit that like, subscribe if you're new, and hit that bell. It goes a long way. And thank you guys for just sticking with me. I know the content hasn't been as, paced out as it usually is, but I swear to God it's gonna get back into shape. And there's another review coming out today as well, the Commonwealth EP, Everyone Around Me, so definitely check that one out if you're interested in that as well. But like I said, my name is Brandon. We hope you got your fix, and we'll be talking with you soon. Peace. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps out our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com, and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.